Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. I'm Ski.
And I'm Justin.
Still haven't changed,
Yep.
surprisingly. And today, this one's Justin's baby. He was excited. He did the work. His eyes were bugging out of his head, and he was talking to me about it. So this is his. I'm just going to try to respond and fill in some blanks here and there with this
All right.
angelic voice.
So as we said earlier, left my notebook at work. Oh well, but 10 moments turned into 15, so we can definitely fill that whole hour and probably then some.
Oh, before we get started, I completely forgot. Just because I was proud of myself. See, it's just popping in my head now. All the times we mentioned Kill Switch yesterday, I am very, very proud of myself that when Phil Labonte, who sings For All That Remains, filled in, they started calling it Phil Switch Engage. And that yesterday we mentioned Kill Switch Engage. I caught it. That's all that matters. Singing like the song for Phillip Brooks. And I never mentioned Phil Switch once. So I deserve an award for that. Carry on. I don't know how that popped out of my mind until then, but
so not in any particular order except for the five that I have that are starred. So we're gonna God, we can start all over the place here. Let's go with an obvious one here. The Zamboni. That was very entertaining.
That deserves it.
That would have been Raw 98, September 28th for those who are playing the game, because I've got just about every date here except for one or two of them. So I did my due diligence. If anybody would like to, go back on the network, not to plug in on Peacock because they don't have a pause or rewind button when you're watching something live. But anyways,
because they like to censor things. I'm pretty sure the whole. Oh, you know what? Don't go back and look at it on Peacock, because I'm pretty sure the whole entire
I was gonna say the top 15
catalog isn't even there yet.
Yeah, that some of these may not even be there anymore. But go on YouTube, you can find them.
YouTube most definitely has it.
Yep. So yeah, Zamboni, that's a classic.
That was one of the Now, did I like the the idiocy of the police somehow? There's a line of police, and there he is coming right off the top of the Zamboni. Somehow he manages to dive right in between every single one of them and get to Vince. But dear God, I mean, it's sad because top 15 moment. Let's see, we got Zamboni's.
That was a moment.
Was in the ring.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I was gonna say Kane was about to be awarded the championship, and then Kane lost it that night. So yeah.
But the Zamboni, I mean, that was one of the best things about the Attitude Era. I mean, people that was just that was the best part too. Because did you see it coming?
No.
What Stone Cold's gonna come out in a Zamboni and just die? All hell's gonna break loose. No one saw it coming. If you say you saw it coming, you were apparently named Vince Russo or Bruce, if Bruce was even still at the company at that point because he got fired so much. And you were on the writing team. They're hey, what? You're driving this? Woo! That was. I mean, I still see it in my head. Him just throwing just ham bones at Vince's face with the title right there, and they try to drag him away. And wasn't that it's not over yet? Not by a long shot. Was that the night when they arrested Stone Cold? And that's when that happened.
Yeah, pretty sure.
That was. I mean, look, I can't remember yesterday half the time. Brain damage. It's a wonderful thing, but it's not over. Not by a long shot. It was amazing. That qualifies in there as the top. That's one of the holy grail moments. Just what they miss out on so much anymore. There's none of that OMG moments really anymore.
Yeah.
That. No one saw that coming. They'll think someone's going to drive the Zamboni. Of all people, Stone Cold showing up in the Zamboni. I mean, they didn't even have the Goon ever have Zamboni. I mean, he was dressed up as a hockey player. He didn't even have it. So I loved it. I loved every second of it just for the ridiculousness of it. So yeah. I agree. That should be on a list. You just made the list because I haven't heard it in so long. But carry on. That was a bad Jericho impersonation, but I don't care.
That's all right. All right. So next one here on the list, kind of a subsequential one, nothing crazy popular, but I don't know if you remember, it would have been in September of 2000 where William Regal was reading Hamlet and Stone Cold just came out, stunned him, and left the ring. And actually, he was wearing one of my favorite shirts. It was the skull in the front with a couple of different flames or whatnot, and on the back, "Bye bye Jackass." That was just a quick, I'm going to come out, stun you, and walk away.
Yeah, I mean, that was. I mean, it's one of those vague ones. I remember the shirt a lot more because that shirt was just. I mean, The stuff they were putting out around that time was
Yeah.
just on fire. Even the
Clear-
one that Punk had on during the pipe bomb. I mean, that was just like Stone Cold. When did he come out with
Yeah.
a bad shirt? But that was like
Yeah, I've never seen a bad Stone Cold.
the equivalent for that, though, for me, for our modern day, audience, is, let's say, I believe it was SummerSlam in Toronto. I mean, they did a little more triple. There's Elias singing. You know what I really hate about Toronto? Like, going on about it, Edge comes out, spears him, and it was like, I mean, they put more into the Edge thing than the Stone Cold thing, but they have to nowadays. They can't just let it be this glass shatter, stun, walk away, and everyone's just like, and the roof blows off. But that was the equivalent of it to me. There he is, just berating Toronto all night. Enter Edge, spear, the roof blows off the place. Everyone goes home happy, and it's done. I just think that, well, William Regal plus, Hamlet plus Stone Cold just making people just stop. Done. Game up. Like, I'll give you that. That was up there. Good old Stone Cold. There was never a dull moment with Stone Cold.
No, not
even
at all.
when Hamlet was involved.
As we're talking about things, other like
yeah, but I'm trying not to do that right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to think of another moment to add to the list, but
my head is sitting there going,
I remember that. All right, so that brings us to, I don't know if you remember when Flair was the GM or the co-owner or whatever, the McMahon's partner, and when Taker was sporting the American Badass biker Big Evil thing.
That was a great gimmick, by the way.
When it was just Flair, Taker, and Stone Cold was trying to talk his way into a championship match, and just one of the best what moments. I mean, I lost count of how many times the crowd said what.
That was one of the better ones. Yeah. Like, there was some where it was like really good, and there was stuff after dark, like footage of him just messing with people. But that was
that
had to be one of the finer moments. And Flair as co-owner was great, no matter how miserable he said he was.
Yeah, I think it was about a 10 to 15 minute segment just full of what.
Yeah, like what? Look, what? Like, how about that? Like, what got over? I don't know. Stone Cold, he cut himself off saying what, and how over was he?
Yeah,
he'd be in mid-sentence, what, to himself, and he made millions of dollars off of just.
Oh yeah,
that was good stuff. And again, Flair, that was him doing that. No matter how miserable he said he was and just didn't believe in himself, he did a great job at it. And the American Badass, I don't care what anyone says, like that. That's one of the best takers ever.
I think that was the transition Taker from the Limp Bizkit thing to Big Evil. That was like the in between spot there. As far as.
But that was.
Oh yeah.
He was on fire no matter what he's done. But I still think that's one of my favorite. Might have been because I grew up watching that more, and well, some of that stuff with like the Ministry and all that was just a little too weird. But
yeah,
Big Evil was amazing. And the word what?
Yeah.
Go down the end. You still hear it now to this day. Like, what? I love it when they do it to Vince. I don't even like seeing Vince, but hearing him get whatted for some reason, anyone puts a smile on my face. And I don't smile enough from what people say. So that's a good thing. I lost my smile.
So that brings us to another quote unquote stunner heard around the world, 9/22 that you said Vince couldn't sell worth a damn. But I mean, obviously it still made a statement. It was a classic, beginning of a Stone Cold era moment.
Vince McMahon, Stone Cold. Like just
didn't
like there wasn't like a note. There's just like
like floundering with on top of seizure. Yeah, something like that.
I don't know what the hell to call that, but the stunner, the summer of stunners, that was the stunner heard around the world that finally led to it. And I'm pretty sure that was talk about yesterday, that was one of those Punk things that when he was going to go and drop that and start going after Vince and all of them, he conveniently happened to be in a Stone Cold shirt. I don't think that was a coincidence.
Oh, that
was his little, here's looking at you, kid. that was one of those. But yes, the worst stunner. Like, I mean, come on, Jake Paul. I think that's his name, right? That's the one that was out. Yeah,
No,
Logan Paul. Sorry, Logan Paul, his idiot brother. You know what? But he took a better bump. I mean, it wasn't the greatest of bumps, but it sure looked a lot better than whatever the hell like Vince called that, like a crappy on a bass boat. I think that was Stone Cold's description of that. Couldn't
yeah.
have put it any better myself. That's a fact.
A lot of these moments are with Vince. I'm trying to. I was really digging. The next one. I don't know if you recall back when it was. I think it was still during the whole invasion thing. I'm not too sure. It was back in July of 2001, I think. The Kurt Angle cowboy hat, where
Yippee ki
big ones, and then Stone Cold gets him a gift, and it's not much, but it's something. And it was
Hey,
that was
now I feel like a real cowboy. Yippee ki Like, just God bless Kurt Angle.
yeah.
I know it's a Stone Cold, but just seeing those two going back and I mean, just everything they did with that whole entire thing. But the cowboy hats, which he still pulled out for his Hall of Fame thing. There it was,
Yeah.
that silly, teeny tiny little hat. I mean, dumping milk on himself, Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Kurt, like they're on, and he's gone. Like, I'm sorry, like they were just. That was a good time, like that, and you have to give it to Kurt. I mean, Olympic gold medalist. I mean, just new to the thing, like how ridiculously, how he just let himself go is really the bit. Like he owned that. If he didn't own that, we would not be thinking about Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, and that tiny little cowboy hat. It was like the size of my cell phone going on top of his head. Just that was amazing. Though. That was a good one. See, that's undervalued. Like because you just see it. Like if you just watch this Hall of Fame, you're like Kurt's, you're like I don't get it. But like if you remember seeing it, like if you weren't laughing, there's nothing beating inside of your chest.
Yeah. Some of them some of those moments with Angle, I'd put in a Kurt Angle top 10 funniest moments because there's a lot of them. There really is.
He was so good at just making fun of himself and just rolling with it. Like once he was look at all the guys that tried to be funny.
Yeah.
And then look at Kurt Angle, he just had to sit there and just like pictures with Edge. I do suck.
Yep.
Yes, I do. I do. It's true. It's damn true. Like Kurt Angle, like we could do that with this, like Kurt Angle moments. Kurt Angle, like, and no matter what you say, Kurt Angle dropping Shane on the back of his head repeatedly, and then just say, and you can hear him go and just throw him face first through that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's still number one. I don't care what. Nothing will ever beat those words coming out of his mouth and him just throwing Shane through a sheet of glass face first and bleeding all over the place like a stuck pig.
Oh boy, man. So leads me into the next one here, kind of jumping back between the 90s and the thousands. Good classic. You mentioned it the other day, Bang 316, where Vince just soils himself. It's there, but very, very good classic there as well.
The guy running a multi-million-dollar company that just went public, pissing himself in the middle of a ring for everyone's entertainment. And that crazy thing he did with his eye, I can't do it. Looking over with one eye of the gun, I look dumb doing it. I think I'm doing it right. I can't look and see myself when I'm doing it, but like that was like Bang 316, like just how everything went down the whole entire night.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't mention it last night, but like Austin McMahon, like that has to be one of the best stories because they just drug it up forever and ever and ever. And look, they did Raw 1000. There was Stone Cold coming out, stunning the whole damn McMahon family.
Yep.
Hell, he even got Linda at the end of it. Like, you stunned my daughter, my Vince. Stunned Shane and Stephanie, and he had it coming. And then she gets one. I mean, like that story to this day, like keeps going. So, as we didn't mention that yesterday, that was a good one. But Austin 316, Bang 316 says you just pissed your pants.
Pretty
Again,
much.
See, and that just popped in. That's exactly what, I didn't even, boom. I was just saying it, but no, he really did just, Austin 316 says, I just pissed my pants. And everyone remembers that. And if you don't,
Oh, yeah.
please find that and watch it. That is
Yes.
worth watching. That is
All
just,
these moments, man. Like I
then you
said,
think back, they couldn't do it today. So go, please watch it.
yeah,
Hell, they
before
might
it's gone. Before it's gone. So brings me to
Peacock.
he uses in a lot of vehicles. Classic one, the monster truck on the limousine.
Like, I mean, I put that was response to like, I mean, obviously like Medusa was doing her, but like Goldberg's truck. If Goldberg didn't have like, I'm pretty sure Stone Cold would not have had a monster truck.
Yeah.
But I mean, literally, what did the man not master the art of driving? Like, how do you love? They gave me like 5 minutes. And here's how you do this. What? And I went and drove it, which is what he said about the Zamboni. Well, here you go. What, 5 minutes before I went out? Here you go. This is a cement truck. Well, I could have been not what? Went out, boom, did it. Learned how to do it in 5 minutes. If I was off on my marks, the whole thing was gone. And you know what? He hit that monster truck. Like, I wonder how much money, like now that I think about it, the WWE spent just
Oh yeah.
on limousines that they either like just in the span of all that they ran over his Corvettes that got cemented in, limousines they blew up. I mean, like, just do it. Try to find the money on that. Like you wasted more money on vehicles just in 1 year of Stone Cold destroying than I make in like 3 years. Like that.
If you're gonna blow money on expensive vehicles, at least it paid off.
He bought about 15 more of those vehicles for the payoff that they got from that. But most certainly. Most certainly.
So moving on to more vehicles, chasing Vince down with the four-wheeler. Again, chasing him down and then obviously driving up on top of his limousine again.
That's when he was the sheriff, right?
Yep.
Like I loved him as the sheriff though. Him and like was it Mark Henry and Teddy Long? What, you see my badge?
Yep.
In there. Yeah. And you believed it. But yes, him rolling up on top, like chasing Vince as Vince is playing it so well and scooting backwards on like all backwards on all fours, trying to get, and he's just burning out on top, like just I mean, that Stone Cold in the ATV was still one of the greatest things ever. And as tight of corners as he had, he never pulled a Titus and just went diving or flying anywhere. Like rubber mats, those tires. I mean, he deserves more credit than he gets for that ATV. But who else could they pull off being the sheriff of Monday Night Raw except for Stone Cold? Because you can make him anything, and except completely, it's not really a sidebar. But if they keep showing so many things about WrestleMania next year, if he's not there with the fact he's doing
that matter,
if he's not like there, like how much you have him doing all the promoting, like everything. No one else says a word.
Agreed.
People, Jerry Dome should. People will be unhappy.
Yeah. Speaking of hosts, that brings me to one of the moments. When New Day was hosting WrestleMania and they were all out there with the different legends, and Xavier Woods was kind of getting his freak on and finally got him to start dancing and just done.
Like, I just saw that. I don't even remember what, like, because I didn't watch the biography last night. Don't worry, it's on my list. It made the list. If only I could get paid by him for every time I mentioned that. But I don't remember what I was watching, but suddenly I was looking, I went, and it popped. I was watching something on, I guess it was Peacock, because where else would they show it? And there he is doing his like the worst dance. I mean, it went from, I'm pretty sure, to middle fingers and a stunner. And there's Kofi and Xavier. I mean, there's Kofi and Big E. Those were some funky dance. There was some funky, fresh dancing right there by that crippled man. Like, I feel his pain. Guess what? I am also a decrepit Caucasian man with really bad knees and hips and stuff. And guess what? And my name isn't Channing, which means this is about all you're getting out of me is some moving, some snapping of my fingers. And, well, I'd love to try to start stunning people, but I'm pretty sure if I did that in real life, I'd go to jail.
All right.
But how about that? You mentioned something that didn't involve Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. We had number 2. So
So
hard.
that brings me to the top 5. Coming in
Heyo.
at 5, always a good classic. It was between that and number 4. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out, but I think number 5 would be the beer truck. I mean, hear me out then once we get to the rest of it. But number
Man,
5 would
top 5. Once you get to the top 5, it's
it's
I mean,
hard.
everyone has their own opinion. Hell, top 100 Stone Cold moments. There will be arguments all the way. Like, oh, that should be like number million. Like,
Yeah.
but top 5 Stone Cold. I mean, there's no point. If it's your top 5, don't put them in order. I mean, I have one that's my top Stone Cold moment, so I have a solid number 1. The rest of them, I will argue with people for number 1, like till I'm red in the face. And if you see by the lighting in here, there's not a lot of pigment going on here. So we are very far away from me being anywhere close to red. And we've been going on for God knows how long. I could do this for forever for number 1, but the rest of them between the beer trucks, Zambonis, monster trucks, ATVs, what? Like there's so much but everyone has their solid number 1. The rest, shut up and stop arguing. But carry on now that I'm done flapping my jibs.
So that brings me to number 4. And
That's good. 5, 4, whatever.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, next one. I don't want to have to argue with anybody.
Stop giving numbers. Let's just
Cement truck, as you mentioned.
him. Oh, I knew it had to be coming, but for him even admitting, like they showed me how to do that like 5 minutes before we did the spot, and I had to hit my marks exactly, or that was going to completely suck. Like, so they gave you a really expensive car, truck full of concrete, and they're like, here's all, and they taught you how to do it 5 minutes before you had to do it.
Yeah.
Like, how on were you? Like, you got to look for that thing where it landed. I mean, he legit had to be like, that's one of those. If you're off by like a foot and in a cement truck driving one for the first time, I'm pretty sure it's probably really easy to be off by a foot.
Yeah.
With all that stuff folding out, and he did it. And the look on Vince's face, and I'm pretty sure that the Stooges were next to him, which made it even better. Because I mean, if you never watched any of the Stooges stuff, go back and watch Patterson and Briscoe. Like that, I mean, they did some ridiculous stuff, but damn, was that whole thing entertaining. And Stone Cold throwing haymakers at Patterson and Briscoe. And I mean, they loved every second of it. But Vince selling that.
Yeah.
And I want to know how many he bought after that happened for the money they made for where business was, just for, Stone Cold doing that. I guarantee like 1,000 people got up and just went and bought Austin shirts just because, like more than 1,000. Like, I guarantee you.
How many people can actually live out, making their boss miserable?
I mean, he was already in a wheelchair, I think, at that point that night. He's driving a cement truck. Yes, sir, Mr. McMahon. Sorry, Gerald Briscoe, but Mr. McMahon. Yes, he is. And Vince looking like he's having a stroke. I mean, wonder why Vince looks so bad now, according to most people. Probably because of Stone Cold. Like, think of all the times his face was just stroking out. Like here, what? Get your blood pressure up to 1,000,000 for this. Why? So everything's just bulging and red and just like vibrating. Think of all the times he did that. What Vince was man, like the reason he looks so old now is from the Attitude Era.
Oh yeah,
exactly why. But yes, the cement truck, like I say, but that it's in my top 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Solidly.
All right, so next one on the list here, classic, where it all began, King of the Ring, Austin 3:16. I think one of the best promos, really, ever. Yeah.
And think that night, like, because he got his face all busted, had to go to the emergency room, get stitches. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Stop looking over your shoulder. It's okay. But going and getting the stitches.
Yeah.
Having to get back, like, here's what, literally, like, they had so little time because, there's so little time in between it just to think about that today. Him, like, you needing stitches, getting to the ER and getting back to the arena and the amount of time that they had for it to still, like, that's mesmerizing in and of itself. But gets out of the thing, like, here's what Jake said. Boom. Gets out to the ring, stuns him. And right to it. Like, how much time did he have to think? I don't know, long enough for him to walk to the ring. I don't know. And Michael Hayes, whatever he was, his poor character's name was at that point. I don't remember what, like he wasn't Michael Hayes. They had him playing some idiotic thing, but he sold it great. And you know how much Stone Cold loved Michael Hayes and the Freebirds growing up. Like he has
Oh, yeah.
never shied away from letting the world know how much he loved them. I mean, that started the whole entire era. I mean, that would actually possibly have to be right around number 2 for me, just because if he didn't do that well, that spot on in what the 6 seconds he had to come up with, because I mean, again, he made it in like an hour from the arena to the hospital in the ER for getting stitches, back in time to, well, call Jake a miserable old man and talk about
Nope.
Bible thumping and all kinds of fun stuff.
Could always do a top 5 best promos, because I think the top 5 best promos would take us an hour and about 20 minutes. We can't do 10 because that would just, we'd be rambling on a little too much. But
I'm very
okay.
good at that though.
So I don't know if you remember this one. This one was actually one of my favorites that I kind of came across. Stone Cold CEO. McMahon was fired.
Yep.
Stone
In
Cold,
that very short amount of time, Linda brings, like, it was Linda that brought him in that night, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It was always Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, who was pissing off Vince? Linda. Why wasn't Stone Cold? No.
From beginning,
Uh,
the whole segment was great. Still the favorite one where he meets the secretary there and shows her how to answer the phone. That was, yeah.
like that was, yeah, like,
Yeah.
That's one of the lesser appreciated ones too.
Yeah, like that really goes to show what barriers he was able to break, and how he was very comfortable with doing something bigger than that, and being able to kind of be funny, and more funny than serious funny. Like,
Yes, like he was, and like you just got to think though. I mean, of all the people that have ever been like at that level, like, I mean, look at all of them have all this crazy character. He was literally just a bird flipping, beer drinking, plain black tights, like glass broke. He went out there, did his, and like, and look
Yeah.
at all the look at all the value he had compared to all these people that put in so much, all this extra work and all this extra stupid. He just came out there, flipped people off, drank beer, and what? I mean, he did have what? Which again,
Yeah.
look at all the work other people put into catchphrases. I mean, look at Enzo and Cass with all the work they put into that whole entire speech. What was more one word? What? I mean, and he would just stun people. I mean, I still love Bill DeMott when he was Hugh Morris. Your name is Hugh Morris. What? Your name is Hugh Morris. What? Is that funny? Is that humorous? Like, I mean, it's just, you sit there looking at it, go, that's so stupid. But God, who else could have actually pulled that off? So, but that, yeah, like no one even remembers that. Like I'm sitting here going, that was Linda that did all, like, and it didn't last forever, but
no,
like that was, like they put that, like, and it's so under,
definitely an underappreciated
that's
segment.
beyond, that's like forgotten segment. Like I mean, see, I still remembered it. Like that was Linda and all that. Like, yes, it was. Like, haha. See, I said sooner or later you'll truly, frighteningly stump me. But you almost got that. Like no one remembers that, but that was such a short thing. And I mean, it was, I mean, like everyone remembers, again, the cement truck, the beer truck, him taking, the Rock's title and just
Bye.
breaks my heart. See you later. You know, like everyone remembers that. Like, you know, it's just, so yeah, that, for how underappreciated it is, I'll give you that. That was a good one. Good on you, because I wouldn't have thought of it.
I try. All right, so that brings us to 1 and 2, 2 and 1. I can't make a decision. So I'm just gonna not tell you which one I think is number 1 because I don't want to cause any more sidebar or arguments. But the next one I have here is one of everyone's favorites, The Grocery Store with
number
Booker
one. Number 1. I don't care what anyone tells me. I mean, all this, and you go back and watch it on Peacock or anything, what they even edited some of it out. Like when you watch the actual episode.
Hate to plug YouTube again, but you got to go on YouTube to see the full thing.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's amore. That's not even like involved at all. Why? Because it's Sinatra's people like go after their people and say, what? No, bro. Like that was sorry, that's I don't care. I don't even know what I could think of. What that's number one. I did a whole show on it before you were even like when I was begging you and like, hey, you got to come on sometime. You got to come on. Like I did a whole thing on that. That is the greatest. I don't care what I need to shut up because hell, we got time though. We got 24 minutes before people are going to waste their damn breath and turn on Monday Night Raw. And I'm going to go to bed way before it's over because I set it to record. I finally took their advice and set my DVR. Because then I can fast forward through the stupid stuff tomorrow. But that grocery store, I mean,
Does Booker need a diaper change?
your little baby, just Molly, just beating the. I mean, thanks, Book. You got milk? Yep. I mean, got some beans, Book. Look at the pretty flowers, Book. You want the poinsettias?
Nuts.
You know what I mean?
Don't forget the nuts.
Shut up. Apparently, it's that exciting. What? Daisy has risen. Let it out. I'm excited too. It's the greatest thing ever. That doesn't mean get quieter. I mean, everything that they fit into there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, excuse me, sir. Would you like some Grey Poupon? I mean, baking a cake.
Yep.
I mean, like the amount of damage I would. If I could open up my notebook right now, if I knew exactly where it was, I have the total number of damage that they did to that grocery store.
Oh, I'm sure.
In one day, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Me burping like a baby. I mean,
don't forget though, at the end of it all, there needed
price
to be
check on your jackass.
Exactly.
Yeah. Price check on your jackass as he walks out there. I'm gonna get you. Yeah. Right. Right, pal. What? And don't forget your favorite. There was your guy that you mentioned earlier, Ric Flair, co-owner, just pissing off Vince as much as that was what I could like. I mean, everyone, even Premier Saltine Crackers, got a moment in there. Like everyone got something. Even Sinatra. Sinatra got so much that they had to edit it out, so it never happened. Which lets you know how good of a segment that was when there was something that simple that had to get made. Like they just beat the hell out of a grocery store. You had some hillbilly in the background going, "You like that, boy? Woo!" Like, I mean, that made the network. Like, how did that make it on the network?
Yeah.
Like that's clearly what you like that, boy. Like, I mean, that just sounded cruel, evil intentions. That's still there.
Yeah.
A Sinatra song.
Yeah.
Removed. That's still number one. I don't care what. No matter what the hell you tell me. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to turn up. Go, damn it.
That one and this last one is like they're both up there, and I wouldn't be able to pick which either one. I mean, I think they would be number one in where he had started at, and then with the Booker T invasion thing. So they could be like number one in their own era category. But
that's what Booker gets for breaking his back on a monitor at the announce table on his debut. That's what he gets.
Because this last one here takes place in the Attitude Era. That one was kind of like pre-Ruthless Aggression era. So it was like the in-between. So
so it's not an era. It was just there. One of the best moments ever. And it was just there. Don't talk about the invasion. Like that could have been so good if they just waited 6 months.
Yeah. But anyways, so last one here. Paging Dr. Austin. Paging Dr. Austin and just
I do have to put that on. Yeah.
See, it's
That's
hard.
still my number two. That's still my number two, though, just because the pure everything they fit in. I mean, because
I think
people were watching because of Foley and just everything. Yerpel, like let's not forget Yerpel.
Yep.
Like everything that just kept happening, like it's like. I mean, Stone Cold saying that he was thick. When Foley was doing his thing, if you heard some banging in the bed, that was me bouncing that solid steel bedpan off my head. Why? Because it has a soft spot, and I wanted to find it before I killed Vince. Because I didn't want to smash his skull with it. But I mean, just the sound of that, like that's like Shane's head hitting the ground at King of the Ring, like bang. He guarantee if Vince didn't roll out of bed because they planned it out. I mean, they planned it out that way, but boom.
Yeah.
Guarantee a fall, and then he does shove I mean, but like thanks nurse, I'll take from here. Oh no, but I mean, just the bedpan. See, if it wasn't for the bedpan, would you remember that moment though?
No, not at all.
Doing. Like, what did we get from that? That solid, just horrific
Yeah.
clang off of the man's skull, which I still
Echoing,
think
echoing, by
like
the
it.
way.
I mean,
Yeah.
like you're in a real hospital. I mean, I mean, he hit him and he didn't kill him, which
Yeah.
that deserves credit. But I mean, if that bedpan didn't happen, everyone would remember Mr. Sacco. And
Yeah.
by the way, you know whose idea Mr. Sacco was? Do you know? Little trivia ski. Do you know who
Oh.
gave Mick that glorious idea? Mick doesn't like giving this certain individual credit for anything.
Oh my God. No, I don't remember.
Have you given up?
Yes.
Survey says
I can see it.
that was an Al Snow idea. This guy. See, you told me the Stone Cold thing. I knew it was gonna come up, so I got this in the mail today. Now what? I will keep it out and handy because I know what it has to happen. Like you're gonna talk about the hospital, and then I could sidebar for 30 seconds about who came up with the ridiculousness that was Mr. Sacco. Like, I mean, that's how over Mick was. A sock.
As I tell people, we're full of useless information, but entertaining useless information.
Yeah. Like whoever would have guessed. It was Al Snow, of all people. But I mean, I'll take it from here, nurse. Oh no. It was just a bunch of no's. And then while he did as a camera, is that just satanic, just so mean, just just I don't know what the appropriate word. What's appropriate for this? Penetrates? Mr. McMahon?
Temperature, internal core temperature, if you want to get,
So-
on it.
Silver bullet. Ish. He got the silver bullet. And that goes right into all the Coors Light that Steve drank back then.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was go find whatever cheap beer they have on sale at the grocery store day. Okay.
Yep.
But
And I gotta give the shout out to the guy that was tossing them beers all day. That man deserves an award. That guy deserves the most highest prestige. I'm talking like that guy Hall of Fame or the Legacy Hall of Fame. I could see that. That man deserves something.
Far, like in some of those, I mean, that was up like the super long ramps where he was on like the backside of the ring, just and I mean, and every single time, just
give that
see
man
more
a
of these,
football.
and just how do you think he probably learned it? I mean, Taker and them talked about throwing the football around in the ringside area before the shows and all that. Was probably there. He was, well, if you can throw a football, you can throw a beer. This is kind of like dodgeball. You dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, huh? Like if you can throw a football, you can throw a beer. But that guy, yes, I mean, if anyone deserves, I mean, hell, they gave that one guy. I don't remember what the guy that just went into the Hall of Fame went in the Hall of Fame for. Titus O'Neil's in the Hall of Fame. How's the guy that threw Stone Cold beers sometimes like a solid 30, 40 yards away, just
and
not like they were tomahawking, just
that gentleman actually he is actually the timekeeper and he's actually from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, see, you did tell me that.
Yep.
You're all excited about that.
Keeping Time Collectibles when they were up at Saturday's Market in Elizabethtown, not to go on a sidebar, but that gentleman there is who got me the personalized autograph in the WWE magazine that I'm in.
You know who got me this?
Find his name real quick. Seriously.
My inability to say no to mystery envelopes. That's what got me this. There are some fancy ones behind it, but I can't show that here. I'm going to buy you one thing. I don't even care what you think about it. Come the first. I'm buying you something and we're going to do a live reveal. So I can see the true look on your face as you go, what is this shit? Because you have a Vince McMahon, but yeah, see, we did have that story about that guy. See, that's,
yeah,
I know. Look at you. You're in the WWE magazine.
Look at your phone real quick. We gotta give him a shout out. Ian, gotta give him a shout out. We got time. We have to. I mean, that guy. Yeah.
Hall of Fame. That was
I wish
2020. That was 2020s, right? He was in 2020s, right? Hall of
He's
Fame?
been. Uh,
I don't mean that. I mean, who went? Which Hall of Fame? Like they only did.
Got it
Hold,
through the beard.
hold on. Like, how about you just tell me everyone? Like, why do you have to make this so difficult? Why are you making this so hard?
No, he was a timekeeper. That's all I remember.
Come on, like
I know we're really
Time.
going off the.
not not timekeeper, timekeeper. I wish I could speak in like spell in English as well as I could speak it.
Okay.
Rich Herring.
Yep, that sounds about right.
See, found it. Just took me a second. So I'm, believe it or not, I'm slightly, yeah. The internet actually only moves so fast. I move faster than the internet. The internet's all like, yeah, how about you calm down, bro? And I'm sitting here going like, no, how about you hurry the up? I don't got all day. You know, but that guy, I mean, like, but I'm sorry, like if he got into like and Stone Cold needs to induct him. Like, think of the speech he could give. And all the times he used to throw me beers like, 100 yards when and they always came in, like just it wasn't like they were just tomahawked up there. I mean, he just
like
like
seriously.
Like that guy, yes, that guy deserves. See, that's a good supper. That guy deserves, I don't know, an award at least.
Yeah.
He deserves. I mean, if some people are in the Hall of Fame that are in the Hall of Fame, then I don't know how Stone Cold beer guy.
That's legacy Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, like I mean, that's like, how many throws you missed? Oh wait, none, ever.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the pay-per-views and TV. But he never missed a throw.
Yeah.
Once.
I'm pretty sure that was Rich. If it wasn't, we're gonna make sure in the next episode we're just gonna confirm that. But I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Let's see, that gives us something to strive for tomorrow. Because
That's right.
guess what? Raw won't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention the big bad R word. I'm not talking about racist. I'm talking about
Instead of
raw.
disappointment.
Like it's gonna like I mean, and you said they already took away like you say they took away the Strowman.
Yeah, they took away Braun and Randy. Yep.
So they had two things like so they took away that and we're gonna see Drew McIntyre demand answers from MVP.
That's right.
Hey, I'm so happy. Can't you see?
Yeah.
Can't you see the fake smile? Like the dimples. You can't see the dimples when I real smile because there's a beard. So no one can tell if I'm actually in a good mood or if I'm faking it. Keep people on their toes. But you know what the real freakiest thing about all this is? Like we talked, I was like uppity about like Stone Cold in the grocery store. Daisy got uppity. We stopped talking about it. And she went back to bed. I respect that. Just noticed that now as I looked over. It's like she is flat out again.
She knows the appointment is coming. So what's the point of watching?
But yeah, like those are some good moments. See, I had one. Like I was waiting. It was in my head. Like we're still going through. I'm like, what? Doesn't mention it. I'm like, I have to tell him he's an idiot. But grocery store, like, look, now we get to talk about it twice. That's how good it was. I brought it up and then he brought it up again. See, I'm not crazy. That was still like, I'm sorry, just eggs. I mean, Premier saltine crackers, which somehow are still around. Like they got brought up. Got milk. Frank Sinatra. Grey Poupon. He stops and gets a beer drink. He even stopped and had beer. He got to burp a baby. He got the price check on a Jackass. I mean,
yeah.
Like how much was fit into that very short time? And again, there's Ric Flair just laughing at Vince. As Vince looks like again he's going to coronary, which is why he probably like think of all the stress he put his body and head under, like with everything just bulging and just like. But yeah, and that was I'm sorry, but if it wasn't for the bed, that one gets number 2. It was epic. Like everyone remembers it, but if it wasn't for the bedpan.
For that time though, because there was a 3 to 4 year.
He was just on fire. But again, if you take the bedpan out of there, Socko was the winner there, right? Which again, in case anyone's confused, was somehow this guy's idea, as terrifying as that sounds, like sad this like see it was random. If it wasn't random, there would be a picture of head with it. Because what does everybody want?
Exactly.
What does everybody need? Ah, how ridiculous. God, I miss those days. Hey, that's not gonna make the network. They're gonna cut all of that out. What?
Yeah.
Can't have Al Snow running around there. What does everybody want?
Hashtag jobs for those who are playing the game. And I'm just going to leave it at that. We're not even going to proceed with anything else. Just do your homework.
Please do us a favor. Do some work, people. It doesn't take that long. If I can do it, I'd do it for 2 shows. He's coming up with more stuff than I am for this one. I mean, I have all the ideas in my head. I just don't actually put them on paper because, well, then I'm just going to turn the page and I'm just going to move on to something else. I'm going to forget about it because my brain's just, the attention span is drastically impaired. I think that's a safe way to put that. Drastically impaired. I don't know
Agreed.
if to blame. I don't know what to blame this that the floor of the shop in Iraq that I spider webbed at the back of my head, 2x4s, wiffle ball bats, the front end of a truck, Western Boulevard. I don't know what it was. I mean, I could do a million things at once. It's just, well, once I start writing down some of this, like chicken scratch and this thing, like, it gets lost. Like, this is the land of like lost. No one cares about toys. Can't go and say what they're really called because then, people that wrote Rudolph will probably come and sue me. That's probably copyrighted for t-shirts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go and piss off CBS or whoever it is. Because they already don't like me. They don't like anybody though. So they're corporate America. They just like that money. But yes, that was a good one. Yeah, I like that. I don't think we actually missed like anything.
No, I think we just, yeah. I mean, I can think of some small
you
ones.
can think of other ones. I mean, like Tyson and Austin in the ring. You ruined it, damn it. As all Tyson's people are trying to get all the money they want blowing out of his suit when Steve shoved him. Like that was a good one. And look at that led to.
Yeah.
I mean, he took over. I mean, granted, would he have taken over if Sean didn't, lose his smile and break his back into a million pieces? Who knows? But that was a big one that led to that promo led to that program, which led to that. Like that was just one of those little in the middle things.
Yep.
Like that was a good one. But you got to really stop and think about, I mean, the one time when he put a hot dog like vendor thing over Stephanie, went and ripped it off and it stuck to her shirt and ripped it off. I mean, I remember that. Who doesn't remember that? Her looking all, oh my God, him sitting there laughing, drinking beer. I mean, like, because Stone Cold.
Yeah.
What did he do? He laughed, he drank beer. And the heel turn that he wished he never did with Vince at Mania. I think it was.
Hey.
Was that in the Astrodome?
Oh, I don't know.
I think that was that had to be in the Astrodome. Yeah, I think that was in the Astrodome.
A pretty big venue.
Like it was huge. But that night when he turned heel, but he even said he wished he never did it. So I mean that shouldn't count on the list, but it should go. We can't go and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And his song, I mean, the remake, which was on Forcible Entry, which you can only find like 3 songs of on Apple Music anymore because they've apparently eradicated all of it. That song wasn't nearly as awesome as the original. It was still good.
Have the album from track 5 on down's available with a few in between that are missing.
There's a lot in between. Like there's a lot missing. Yeah. I looked at it and I went, I want to hear this song, Forcible Entry.
I wish Disturbed would just at least put Glass Shatters on iTunes, but I love the CD, so I'm good.
I did have the CD.
Still have it. Still in my visor in my car.
I know. We listened to it last August on the way back from Monster Pizza.
That's right.
With their big, however many feet that thing is across pie.
Yeah.
And then we watched Raw. That was because you came over for SummerSlam, so that was 2 days after my birthday. So yeah, August 23rd-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, I do reckon.
Yep.
I reckon. Because I'm in the South, so I can use the word reckon. You can't. So there. But yeah, I can't think of anyone really big ones past all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some good ones. Obviously, there's always going to be something we miss. Everyone's going to be pissed. No one's ever happy. But I think as long as you have the grocery store up there, I don't care. If you
Yeah.
if you didn't have that on your list at all, this conversation would have went south. Very like
And not to plug this either, but if anybody watching can think of other good memories and or moments, feel free to comment.
except do not comment the Fall Out Boy song. Do not comment. Thanks for the memories. Spelled inappropriately and wrong. I will get angry. And I will delete you. I'll turn into Matt Hardy for a second. Just because I miss the guy. And I think he'd be really good backstage right now. But
Oh yeah.
that was a good day. What do you want to do tomorrow? What do you got wrote down for a topic tomorrow? As
Well,
I mean, we're going to go over Raw, but so we should just
I think is Raw disappointment in sidebars because I'm sure I'll find 3, 4, maybe 5 articles between now and then. There's a
and
couple
we
of
could get
things,
shocked. And we could get shocked. Like Raw could not
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I definitely have under up the sleeve is definitely DX moments. That's definitely one of those that we have to do. Not saying sometime maybe later this week we'll figure it out somewhere
but
along the way.
And I just got like this super just what you tried to get me in a better mood with. What is it? Yesterday, the day before? I don't know. Just God bless Sean.
Yeah.
And the thigh slap, which apparently wasn't a bad thing then.
Yeah.
When you know how to do it. With Sean.
We'll keep it. We'll keep it for that episode though.
Yeah, so I had a good time.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone else had a good time.
Definitely.
He had a good time because people actually mentioned Al Snow. When the hell does that happen? Ever. Except for Head. Take Head out of the equation. This was just an Al Snow moment. He was a hell of a trainer, though. He deserves more credit. But I had fun. We'll figure it out. Until tomorrow, I'm Ski.
And I'm always Justin.
And we'll be back with another Wrestling with Ski for you tomorrow. So until then, my friends, try to enjoy Raw or whatever you're doing. And peace.